You've probably heard about people detoxing, and the reason it's so popular is because it has such a wide range of health benefits. So what I'm going to do today is share with you the top 12 ways that detoxing heals your body and just explain a little bit about each of those. Modern medicine or pharmaceutical medicine is not just the baby of herbal medicine, it's the grandchild of herbal medicine. Herbal medicine was around for thousands, tens of thousands of years. It goes back to Paleolithic times. And they were using plants as medicines. And we know there's over 350,000 plants with medicinal properties. But at some point in history, less than 200 years ago, it was discovered that there were actual active compounds in these plants. And so they began to realize that there was potential to extract these compounds, such as aspirin in the willow bark, salicylic acid in willow bark, opium in the opium poppies, and so on. And so these compounds were then reduced down into singular compounds as pharmaceuticals. So even today, 25% of the modern drugs come from the plant kingdom, or discovered in the plant kingdom. So the fact that modern medicine as pharmaceuticals are the grandchild of herbal medicine, and yet it is thrown the baby out with the bathwater, so to speak, and disregarded pretty much all herbal medicines and traditional medicines in our healthcare system. And this is a disaster. So one of the major reasons we need to look at using herbal medicines to heal our body is because that's what they do. They heal the body. They nurture and encourage and rebuild and restore functions. And so not only is cleansing the core fundamental part of herbal medicine, but it's the main reason that it triggers the healing process in your body, because our lifestyle, we've been through this in previous weeks, is so toxic. We've got so many chemicals, so much is thrown at our body. We're constantly bombarded with an assault of, artificial substances that our body is not designed to deal with. So the first thing we should say is, by detoxing our body in any way, going on a cleanse in any way, shape or form, in fact, will help to nurture our body's own detoxification systems. So the liver, the kidneys, those are the key things. But also our lungs and our bowels, that whole detoxification process in our body is enhanced. And by the way, if you want to read more, look at the QR code in the top corner there, scan that with your phone, and you'll find after each one of these little headings I talk through, there's a link to click, and you'll be able to read more on each of these 12 reasons. So that's reason number one, really, is to get our natural detox systems in our body to function better by giving them the time and the space, and by reducing the load on those systems. The second reason is to help our body combat environmental toxins. So by doing a detox, it's quite often good to go through the process of, and you'll see the link here under this, is try the toxin calculator, is to go through and look at all the possible sources of toxicity that could be getting into your body. So environmental, household, industrial, workplace, things you use, cosmetic products, cleaning products, go through all of those things, and there's hundreds of them, and try to isolate those down and reduce the input of toxins, the exposure to toxins that are going into your body. So that's the second reason to do a detox, is because it really makes you aware, it makes you think about this, and it really gets you involved in the whole process of avoiding toxins. Going organic with food if you can, and that sort of thing. Unprocessed whole foods, for example. There's multiple reasons why we need to look at what we're introducing to our body. So doing a detox really makes you think long and hard about this. So that's the second reason. Thirdly, we've got digestive health. So we know statistically that 50%, this is half of the world's population, that we know statistically have some kind of digestive problem. And when you think about it, this is rather weird, because we have a world full of animals, the whole animal kingdom, And yet we don't really see a lot of them with digestive problems. It only seems to be human beings that are getting this, inflammatory bowel disease and bowel cancers and all these complex autoimmune diseases of the gut. And what's causing that, we don't know. So by clearing the gut, by putting in good herbs, and this is well known that herbs will help to heal the gut and restore the digestion and help the digestion, indigestion, help improve digestion, alleviate bloating and gas, help to heal the gut wall, and do all those kind of things to the digestive system. And this is a strength of herbal medicine, a really, really good one. It's probably the number one area where herbal medicine comes into its own, where standard allopathic modern medicine fails terribly, is in digestive health. So you'll either get steroids, antacids, painkillers, or an operation, basically. Whereas with herbal medicine, there's a multitude, there's a big range of healing, digestive supporting herbs that you can use. And so there's a link under this one as well about more about gut health and herbs and gut health supplements, herbal supplements. So yeah, if you've got any digestive issue, this is a major number one reason, in fact, to do a detox. Number 4, the immune system. So one thing the immune system does is the first line of defense, to put it this way. Your immune system it responds to what they call antigens. So these are things that come into the body from the environment, from somewhere else. And these can be viruses or bacteria, or in fact also substances, unknown substances. Your body also responds to those, like an infection of some kind. And so we have this escalating problem of autoimmune diseases, and so many autoimmune diseases, and we often don't know why is the immune system starting to attack the host, the human being, ourselves. And that's because it's being presented with antigens or substances that seem foreign to it. And it's being presented with those substances all over the place, all through the body. And that comes about because of the multitude of sources and consumption of foreign substances, or toxins, you would call them. So this is another major concern, why the health system, the medical profession, is not looking into this. How can we detox the body of these substances, avoid these substances? And this dramatically improves the immune function, because now the immune system is not confused with a multitude of possibilities. Instead, when a virus or a bacteria comes along, the immune system has a very clear message: this is a foreign substance, attack it, kill it, get rid of it, and don't attack the body, don't attack the host. So really, really important, major reason to do a detox program. And herbs also, we should say, dramatically support immunomodulation, immune function, and anti-inflammatory, so they reduce the immune response unnecessarily. So there's a great reason to include herbs in your detox program for the immune system. Number 5, promote healthy skin. So this is an interesting one, because I see a lot of clients in practice that have inflammatory skin conditions over the years, and oftentimes the prescription is some kind of steroid cream or something like that, which gives almost a miraculous healing of the problem, only to make it 10 times worse when they stop using the steroid cream. And of course, there are other options are really limited with what you can do with skin conditions, whereas most skin conditions are related directly to some kind of inflammatory response within the body, and in particular acid related. And that's identifiable sometimes by where it is on the body, which particular organs are being inflamed by toxins. And so when you do a detox, we often see the skin clear up rapidly. And we quite often see eczema or itchy patches or even psoriasis disappear within weeks. And so that can happen with a detox. Another major reason to do it, and another big overlooked benefit of doing detoxes, is the skin. A lot of people report their friends saying to them, "What are you doing? Because you look younger." Number 6, pain and inflammation. By reducing acid is primarily introduced into the body in protein. So when you do a detox program, it's a low protein diet, interestingly. A lot of people wonder about that, but it's really important to do a low protein diet periodically to alkalize. So by alkalizing your body, you alleviate chronic inflammation. And so arthritis, skin conditions are often acid related. Just general muscular aches and pains, headaches, a number of things can be metabolic acid in the tissue. This is not the acid that causes reflux, because that's another story. That's not actually acid. This type of acid is metabolic tissue accumulation of acid. And by doing a detox, you can help this acid to get out of your body. Most people find that their kidneys, their bladder, their bowels, the whole urinary system increases. You pee a lot, you get a lot more darker urine for the first few days as you're dumping acid. So fantastic for pain relief. Metabolic energy. Now this is a massive problem. I think most of us at some period in our lives have had this feeling of fatigue and just don't know where it comes from. And as you get older, I think a lot of us experience this, where you're tired all the time. You wake up tired, feel like sleeping during the day, and that sort of thing. And that's because metabolic energy is directly related to a couple of things: the enzymes that are input into your body, and also just how clear the metabolism is. So if you've got substances or build-up or toxicity, say for example in your liver, this is a common sign of sluggish liver, fatty liver, liver stagnation, is chronic fatigue. And so the liver being the center of your whole metabolism, and liver being part of the digestive system that gets cleared when you detox, your metabolic energy and alertness and mental energy increases dramatically. And so this is something else people report within a few days. It can be 5 to 7 days when something happens, like a light switch has gone on in the brain, and it's just incredible clarity and alertness. And then that sort of afternoon, crash tends to disappear and level out, and people say they go right through the day. And that's explainable by the extremely high nutritional intake that's given during a detox. So all this fruits and vegetables, more minerals, getting rid of the acid, detoxing the liver, and so on. So another thing, if you're interested in, there's links there to look at metabolic syndrome, enzymes, and energy. So you can dig into that a bit further. Number 8, so this is quite closely related, is mental clarity and peace. We talked about mental energy. So clarity is an interesting, it's almost like a side effect of detoxing, where intuition, the subtle ideas, knowing what to do next. People report having vivid dreams and getting messages and intuitions about, the direction in life and inspiration, things like that. And so we do suggest more meditation, more prayer, and this kind of thing. And that's because, and you think about it traditionally, fasting is a form of detoxing. Fasting and prayer, fasting and meditation. So these things are closely connected. Why is that? There's more than just a esoteric reason for that. There's a solid, fundamental metabolic reason for that. And that is because it clears away the entanglement with what's going on with digestion and all the substances, and it creates a space in the metabolism for this more sort of vertical electromagnetic nervous energy to get connected and grounded. So grounding is another thing people do, is go to the beach, get in the trees. So this whole mental clarity and peace, which is so needed, isn't it, in our world today? Because we're so all over the place and so stressed and anxious and worked up about everything. We just need to get back to connect within ourselves, and that's what detoxing can do. So another fantastic reason. The big reason weight loss happens during a cleanse is because we're cutting out all the processed food, and this means the processed sugar intake goes through the floor. In fact, there is none. So the only sugars you get are from the fresh fruits or vegetables, and you're consuming a lot less basically. Also, we take out the heavy protein, sluggish digesting foods like nuts and grains and seeds, legumes, meats, cheese, eggs, all those things that are very slow digesting. So it speeds up your metabolism, speeds up your elimination, speeds up the whole body basically. And also you find that while you're detoxing, the herbs stimulate the evacuation from the bowels, purging the liver and the kidneys. So your body dumps all the excess and it starts to burn more energy metabolically. So you will lose weight. And this is a really fantastic result. A lot of people get 5 kilos to 10 kilos, within the 14-day detox period. And that's incredible because that can stay off if you're good with your food afterwards. And there's no reason for that to come back on suddenly. And a lot of the weight that gets put on the body is fat accumulation because the liver's become stagnant, because the body's holding toxins in store. And so again, it's a natural consequence of detoxing is rapid weight loss. Chronic diseases. So this is really worth mentioning because we know that 66% of deaths worldwide are because of chronic degenerative diseases such as heart disease, cancer, and diabetes. And so these are the biggest killers worldwide. And there's a direct statistical link to the metabolic imbalance or metabolic syndrome to these conditions. And that means that by detoxing the body, you are putting the metabolism back in balance and you're eliminating basically the highest risk factor for these diseases, these chronic diseases. We've also talked about the mental clarity and cognition. You can probably include the other diseases in there that are brain related as well. Improves the organ functions that are responsible for your cholesterol, your blood sugars, eliminating heavy metals and parasites. And parasites, we should have mentioned earlier, in the digestive system, it's another benefit of detoxing. So yeah, if you want to live a long, healthy life, and this is well known too when you look at the blue zones around the world where people live over 100, is their lifestyles are clean. So they're living in the countryside, got fresh air, they're growing their own fruit and vegetables, so they prevent these chronic diseases. But detoxing at home by yourself, by doing a food and herb combination, what you're doing is you're creating that environment internally of a blue zone. And in theory, you could extend your life dramatically by, my estimates is around 20 years by doing detoxing once a year. It's a little bit deeper looking into, how you can actually prolong your life by detoxing. Prolong the quality of life, staying younger for longer. There's nothing worse than, getting to a point in your life where you've got a few things worked out and you may be, looking at retirement or whatever, and you're getting sick. And so it ruins your life. You want to have quality of life until you're 70, 80, 90 and onwards. And that's quite possible. The whole package, the whole concept of, triggering your body's healing mechanisms by detoxing is that you will have a longer life. And there's two major reasons for this. One is that you're cleaning up the cells internally, and this is a process called autophagy. And autophagy is where the cells themselves, the inner workings of the cells, they accumulate waste, just like an internal combustion engine, or say the inside of a home, for example, where you've got things moving around all the time and there are all these metabolic processes going on. The cells become full of garbage. They call it the garbage catastrophe, where inside the cells becomes full of waste. And so when you fast and cleanse and detox, you trigger what's called autophagy, where it's a bit like a vacuum cleaner. They go around and self-digest all of the waste that's inside the cells. And the main reason that we age is because of the DNA replication of the cells is slowly breaking down, a bit like carbon copy over carbon copy. The carbon copies get weaker and weaker and weaker. And so by detoxing and fasting, we encourage the autophagy, or the cleanup inside the cells, and that allows the DNA replication factory to put out, good copies of the cell. So you get good cells being reproduced in younger, basically youthful, complete, healthy cells. And the other thing is you'll get your nutrition, your absorption, because when you detox, you're cleaning the gut, the liver, that whole digestive system. You get far better nutrient absorption, nutrient assimilation into the body, and so that also contributes to the growth and healing of new cells. By detoxing and cleansing and using herbs on a regular basis, what it does is it triggers your natural tendency to do the wrong thing. It decreases that. So it triggers you to decide more often to do the right thing. And of course, we all know what that is. We all know what the wrong thing and the right thing is. But it's having the tendency or the inclination to do the right thing or to do the wrong thing, to make those choices becomes easier and easier and easier as you repeat the process. And I guess this is like any kind of developmental path or spiritual path, self-improvement methodology, is you take the steps by incremental steps and you continue to repeat those steps over and over, and it becomes easier and easier and easier to stay on the path of progress. So there's a little bit of a article there that you can link to about addiction recovery. So this is another good reason to detox, and it's another common reason why people do detoxes, is to change a habit, to change a bad habit and to get back on the wagon and going in the right direction in life. So herbs are fantastic for that. There's some additional things that we can offer to help with addiction and addictive behaviors as well. And there's some really good information about emotional eating and that sort of thing. So those are just the top 12 reasons to do a detox. There are many, many more. And if you want to find out more, just click the link next to this video and have a look at the detox programs that we've got available. But also you'll find a lot more information, a lot more specific information about different health concerns and how you can address those by detoxing in specific ways with different programs. Take care and all the best with the next step on your health journey.